let's just start there. Faith is a belief. Faith is a belief. If I look up the dictionary, if I open this dictionary, let's see what faith. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna use my definition. We gonna hit these books tonight. Now hold up. I'm finna open it. We finna crack the book. We finna talk about this faith, and we finna talk about this knowing. Okay, but the real subject is faith, because faith, we're going to talk about it. First off, we're going to define it and see what this faith is. What is faith? What is faith? Let's start there and say what. Let's start there. We're going to talk about it tonight, because I seen somebody asking about some shit about faith on Reddit, and I was like, man, I got to make a whole video on this. And they was sitting in and they was asking, they were like, asking something about faith. But hold on, before we even get there, let's just define faith. Let's make sure we understand what faith is. So what I'm finna do right now, first, I'm finna crack open one of these dictionaries, and we finna see, what is this faith? Let's just define it first. We're gonna crack open a dictionary. Then I'm going to crack open a couple Bibles. We're going to see, what is this faith? What they talking about? Okay, so this is coming from the New Shorter Oxford English Dictionary. It's some older dictionary. I can't tell you what. 1993. This is coming from volume 1. We're going to turn to this F. It's going to be a quick study session. Faith. Faith. Okay. This is saying confidence, reliance, belief, especially without evidence or proof. Belief based on testimony or okay, so faith is saying confidence, reliance, belief, especially without evidence or proof. Okay, that is what faith is. Let's look in the back. I'm going to look in the back, see if this Bible give you any quick references to faith. And it's talking about, they want you to read through that motherfucker. When I need, I'm in need of the faith. Okay, so I got another Bible. This is a New Living Bible. This one in the back, it got a little index. And let's see where it take. This Bible gets me every time talking about. So I got the Holy Bible, and that's the one that's got that Apocrypha in it. But I also got this Living Bible, and this one to be killing me every time talking about living. Got the nerve. But look at these translations up in here. But look how they playing it. So I'm going to go in the back. They got a little index. This one actually got an index. The other little Holy Bible I got, the Holy Bible don't got no index. The New Living Bible got an index. See, it's living, it's growing, so they added an index. In this index, if you go to the F, it's a section in here called, because I'm looking for faith. So if I go to faith, and then they got object of. So I'm looking for object of faith. We're talking about this faith. Let's just talk about this shit. What is it? Only have faith. I'm reading different verses. It's coming from Mark 11:22 through 23. Only have faith in God. I think this is John 6:29. That you believe in the one he has sent. So this is talking about believing. So that lets you know faith got to do with believing. But fuck believing. I give a fuck about believing some shit. But see, okay, we gonna get there. Faith is necessary for the things you don't know, you don't have evidence for. So you would use faith for those things. Faith don't always work. I might always have faith when I come in here and turn on the fucking lights that they gonna fucking turn on. but it might have been a fucking accident outside in the fucking street. Somebody hit the fucking telephone pole and ain't no fucking power right now. So when I go to fucking hit the light switch, ain't nothing there. But I got faith. I'm hitting the light switch for a fucking reason, because I got faith that is power in that bitch. When I hit it, it's gonna cut on. But faith don't always work. Sometimes shit just be fucked up. So faith got to do with believing. So if you could to just go back to this coming out of the dictionary. Now again, I was coming out of the New Shorter Oxford English Dictionary. I'm on page so you're believing, basically. So faith is like belief. The Bible and the dictionary is using belief and faith interchangeably. Especially this New Living Translation is using them interchangeably, faith and belief. So basically, it's safe to say that faith is something that you believe. So we got that. We at least got that document. At least can see it's coming. It's in your Bible and it's in your dictionary that faith is centered around believing. So believing is one thing, but I say there is something higher than believing. There is something higher than faith. And I want to say that is the knowing. Knowing is higher than faith. Let's look up knowing. Let's look up to know. Recognize, perceive, identify. Perceive a thing or person as identical with something or someone already perceived or considered. So knowing has to do with something you can recognize, perceive, identify, acknowledge. So it's almost something based on, it seems like knowing is almost based on something you know, something you can recognize, perceive, identify, something you can acknowledge. So that's knowing. But I think knowing something seems to be higher than faith. How come when your life on the line, you want to know? But when it's religion, you got to have the faith. See how that should be sounding crazy? When just knowing something, let's peep this shit. Give me some definitions. We got our definitions out the fucking way. Let's go to the fucking question. Let's go to fucking shit I actually saw on fucking Reddit. Now the shit they was asking on here is how to keep the faith. And I was like, keep the faith? The fuck you want to keep the faith for? Keep the faith? They don't even keep believing? How do I keep believing? Like what? Why are you still believing? Talking about how do I keep believing? Why are you believing? If you gotta ask that shit, stop fucking believing. If it's work, stop fucking believing. If you gotta work to fucking believe, stop. You were working hard. Look, I'm gonna say this much. Okay, I'm gonna say this much. To try. Yeah, that shit. That's crazy to me. Look, in my head, change is supreme. Change is supreme. I don't concern myself with fucking trying to keep the faith. I wouldn't concern myself with trying to keep the faith. I would concern myself with knowing. The knowing is higher than the faith. I would concern myself with trying to keep the knowing. Keep the fucking knowing. The knowing you have is what gave you your fucking faith in the first fucking place. Even scientists have a certain kind of faith in their fucking science, but that's only based on their fucking knowing. That's only based on their fucking knowing. You think you know the same shit as these fucking scientists do, and maybe you fucking do. But maybe that's based on your fucking knowing got you on some different shit. The knowing is what's determining your fucking faith. If I'm fucking just popping up here and I never heard of fucking Jesus, to have some fucking faith, why would I have? You see what I'm saying? You got to know about some shit to even start having some fucking faith in some shit. Somebody told you, gave you some shit to know for you to understand, oh, I need to be believing in some shit. And that's a knowing somebody gave somebody, and that's because they had no knowing in the first place. But shit, Jesus will tell you, with all thy getting, get understanding. So get the knowing. Shit, the knowing is the understanding. If you have the knowing, matter of fact, the knowing will grow the faith. The knowing is what's giving you your fucking faith. If you know see, the thing is people know different shit, and people be growing into different shit. So if you don't know, if you don't look, everything is everything. Everything is fucking everything. So don't limit yourself in the fucking knowing. Everything is everything. Yeah, everything is everything. Don't limit yourself in the knowing. You want to expand your knowing. The more knowing you have, the more you don't need. See, faith is based on you not knowing. Because you don't know, you're using faith. Once you know, you don't need faith. It'd be unwise of you to know better and still use a lesser faith. You knew better and still was using some lesser faith thing. If I know something, you don't want to leave everything else up to like for faith. Like if I know dropping a toaster in the bathtub will kill your ass, I better not have faith to go do that shit anyways. You saying that sounds stupid? Well, that's saying a lot about faith, huh? If you know better, what they say? If you knew better, you do better. That's how old. See, them niggas was hitting when they hit that shit. Them niggas was hitting when they hit with that. If you knew better, you do better. You can't even do better because you don't even know. It ain't if you faithed better, you do better. Jesus was like, with all that getting, get more faith. I was like, nigga, with all that, if you're going to get anything, get this knowing, nigga. If you're going to get anything, get this fucking knowing. So that's kind of what I'm talking to the motherfuckers because I don't even think this might be for a motherfucker coming up out that Christianity type shit, talking about fucking faith still and shit. If it's you can't know everything. For the things you can't know, you can get close with correspondence. You see, for the things you don't know, you can get close with correspondence. Estimated guessing and things like that, and I guess, and if you can't get that, you have to use faith. But faith is still, see how low, and you don't want to use faith initially. You want to use knowing initially and then fall back on faith. You don't want to use faith first and then fall back on knowing. Matter of fact, the more shit you know, the more shit you start to know, knowing seems to grow your faith. If you sat there and read your Bible all fucking day, now you done grew your little fucking faith. But you can't sit there and fucking big up your faith and see how much it's going to help your fucking knowing, because it will add nothing to your fucking knowing. Faith will add nothing to your knowing, but knowing will add something to your or change that shit. If fucking adding to your it might not even it'll change that shit. Knowing will change the fucking faith. Knowing will change the faith. Faithing or doing the faith or having faith fucking won't change your fucking knowing. Having faith only gonna change your fucking believing. You can say you fucking believe it so strong that you know, but that's what we know. We know. Believing is just not knowing. Having strong beliefs is not knowing. See, this thing was just said, it just said knowing is about recognizing, perceiving, and identifying. So now if you had some kind of thing where you perceived some shit, then that's a knowing. And can't nobody fucking tell you different. Who gonna tell you fucking different? That's your knowing. It's a relative knowing, but that's your knowing. So if so basically what I'm saying is fucking knowing is higher than the fucking faith. I wouldn't be concerned with trying to keep some fucking faith. I'd be concerned with trying to keep the fucking knowing. The knowing is what's giving you the fucking faith in the first fucking place. The knowing is giving you what's the people with the fucking faith be fucking knowing will fucking stimulate you. You get new knowings and it'll stimulate your fucking faith. You fucking have fucking faith. Faith won't stimulate any fucking knowing. You'll be just as fucking ignorant as you was when you came into that motherfucker talking about I'll need some fucking faith. No, you fucking don't. You need some fucking knowing. And the more fucking knowing you have, you fucking make better determinations about what you fucking believing in. You can fucking change all that, and the knowing will fucking change this belief. You won't have to believe some shit you fucking know. If somebody was like, man, hey man, I know Jack Rabbit. They're like, hey man, I know Jack Rabbit. Somebody was like, hey, I got faith in Jack Rabbit. That nigga turn around and be like, look, you got faith in that nigga, but I know this nigga, so fuck what you talking about. Nigga, I know. And somebody that fucking know somebody, they gonna run circles around somebody who believing in somebody. People who believe in somebody don't even be knowing. That's cause you gotta believe in they ass, cause you don't fucking know them. People believe in Michael Jordan and shit. And shit. People believe in fucking Jesus and shit. And shit. People believe like people believe in Tupac and shit, and believe Tupac's still alive and all that kind of shit. People believe like that. People don't now. It might be a whole bunch of people that believe, but the knowing circle be small. Ignorance is everywhere, but the light it'd be it's dark in this motherfucker. The lights be fucking be dim. It'd be rare that I meet motherfuckers with some fucking light to share shit. Motherfuckers be darknesses type shit. What that motherfucker Eddie Murphy what's in the what do you say? Darkness is. That's how fucking motherfuckers be nowadays. Nobody got no fucking light some fucking time. Darkness is. That nigga was calling that darkness is. That's what motherfuckers be feeling like to me nowadays. Ain't got no fucking light to fucking shed. At least give me dog. Motherfuckers be vampires draining you. Darkness is. That shit is fire. Okay. What that nigga shout out to fucking Rick James, bitch. Shout out to Rick James, bitch. Shit. Shout out to Rick James, bitch. Okay, so so back to this knowing shit. Fucking yeah, so knowing gonna top fucking faith every fucking time. Somebody you fucking believe in. When you believe, that's because you away from they ass. You don't believe in any of your friends because you know they ass. That's why. Because you fucking know they ass. You fucking believe in your fucking mom for when you fucking know her. You don't fucking believe in nobody you know, because knowing it, you never go back down to just believing in your mom and your dad. You know them. That's higher. That's higher. That's what I'm talking about. This faith shit is for low. It's a lower place. It's a lower realm. Faith is a lower realm. Knowing is a higher realm. Knowing is always going to be a higher realm. You can't top knowing with fucking faith. You gonna top knowing with faith? That's why them scientists be slapping them fucking Christians in the face with that shit, because they get this knowing. But see, it's certain shit that scientists they don't know, and that's where them Christians be slapping their ass in the face. And the thing is, they really two polarities of some shit. There's two sides of some polarities of some shit that need to come back together. Hold on, see, the mic cutting up. See? Okay, so the knowing is always high. See how the knowing, these are ways you can see how the knowing is higher than the fucking having faith. To believe in your fucking mom. For what? The fuck I'm believing in some shit I fucking know. Sounds stupid. I'm gonna believe in my fucking, like, why would you believe? That's like somebody, but I believe in my kids. You know your kids. What would you believe in your kids for? You know them. Believing in them. You might believe in a better future one day for your kids or something like that, but you're not believing in your kids just for right now or some shit. Like, you know them. You don't need to have faith for your fucking kids. You don't need to. You might have faith for a fucking brighter day or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, you don't need to. What the fuck you need to? You don't need to have faith in what would you need faith in your husband or your wife for? You know them. What would you need to believe in them for? That sounds ridiculous. Like, you don't believe in your friends, you know them. That's crazy. So, and this is the same concept. It would be no point in believing in your mom, but it sounds ridiculous or some shit. You're only believing in the shit you don't know, and that's why you're using it. So basically, the faith thing is what's keeping you in the So if knowing, you either know or you don't know. So if you're not knowing, then you ain't knowing. So faith is the unknowing. So if you in the faith, you unknowing. You could even say you got faith in God. Yeah, because you don't know him. If you knew him, you wouldn't need no fucking faith. It sounds stupid. Faith, need no faith in nobody I know. And I'm just coming from this just with the Christian cap on now. This is just with the Christian. I ain't no Christian, but this just with the Christian cap on, so you get what I'm saying. If you say you having this faith in God, that's because you don't know him. And if you knew, you wouldn't need the faith. And some people say, I bet somebody's saying you probably got to have both. Science is using both. Science is using, now the faith thing might be a theory because they can't prove it yet, but once they can prove it, that becomes a knowing, and they don't need the faith anymore. Once they get the knowing's always higher. That knowing, once the fact is always higher than the fucking theory. Theory might be faith, if you will, a theory, but theories get proved wrong, and you don't want that means faith get proved wrong. But knowing don't be getting proved wrong. Once they know is that they know. Once they know is it. Once we know that's it. The details might get, the intricacies might get changed. The details and all that shit might get worked out. But the main shit from the surface level going in, that knowing is there. That's it. All the details of the core and all that shit might get worked out later. You know, as you go in and you explore a thing fully and throughout. But fucking the initial fucking, that's it. The knowing is the knowing. And once you fucking know some shit, it's hard to unknow. It's hard to fucking unknow. But I'll say this much again. Knowing is always higher than faith. If you're going to have anything, have knowing. And for the things you can't know, use correspondence. And for the things you can't use correspondence, if any, I guess you would have to reserve that to some kind of faith. I don't know what those things might be, those weird high conceptual things. But whatever those things would be, I guess you could just have to reserve it for faith at that point. But, or if at all. But I'd say avoid using this faith thing unless use it sparingly. Like, you don't need to be using, I'd go off the knowing, because the knowing is way more fire and it's going to stimulate shit. You get new knowings, you'll have new shit to fucking believe in. You'll have new shit to fucking stop believing. It'll change all that shit. It'll fucking change. You want movement in your fucking life? Get new knowings. You can't just get, it's hard to just get some fucking faith. You want to just have some fucking faiths? Go start believing in Krishna. You know, fucking random. You just want to fucking random. Go start believing in some fucking Orishas and fucking Oshun. You want to just start fucking picking up some fucking random shit to fucking believe. Go fucking Paul and Mark and shit. And Jesus and shit. Fucking, you want to just find some shit to fucking believe. That's one thing, but fucking shit. Fucking know some shit. Because that's always going to be fucking higher. Knowing always takes the cake. And again, knowing will stimulate your faith. The more shit you knew, if you sat here and read, that's why you reading the fucking Bible, to grow your fucking faith in the first place. Reading that shit is what's growing your faith. The knowing of the Bible alone is what's growing your Christian faith. People who know more than the Bible don't be so Christian. They know more. They not limited. What they believe has changed. And that's why they want to limit you to the Bible, because if you know anything outside of that, it'll change your belief. Yeah, so basically, this knowing is the highest. This in closing, basically, knowing seems to be higher than faith. Knowing is what gives you faith in the first fucking place. Knowing is what informed you to have faith, if you have it. And knowing is probably what will help change your fucking faith if you're looking to fucking change it. Knowing is fucking probably what will help fucking give you the most movement in life. You feel empty? Add knowing. You feel fucking like you don't have no fucking light in your life? Add knowing. This knowing is the light. The light bulbs, when you ever get an idea, see the light has to do with the brain, and you ever see you get a fucking idea, the fucking the lights go off. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about this light, the idea, the knowing, the lamp, the light, the mind, the soul, the psyche. That's what we're talking about here. This light, this knowing. Yeah, so I would highly encourage you, grow the knowing. Don't worry about trying to grow the light or the fucking faith. Don't worry about trying to grow the fucking faith. The faith, look, that's a lower thing. Work on the knowing. The faith is for the fucking cracks and the low shit. Like for the shit you probably ain't really too concerned about and don't really matter too much anyways. But I know the Bible gonna tell you to fucking keep some fucking faith. I know that's what it's gonna tell you. But it's also telling you don't look outside this motherfucking all that kind of shit too. But fucking keep the fucking knowing. Don't worry about the fucking faith. The faith is for lesser things. Fucking keep the knowing. The knowing is for the fucking high things. You feel like you, and see, this is a fucking thing. You feel like you can't, you talking about you keeping faith because you can't, you fucking work. And if you feel like you fucking worshiping some shit you can't fucking know, what the fuck are you doing?